This
Can you hear me now?
conference will now be recorded.
Am I audible? Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for waiting. Okay. Thanks for joining for the session. Okay. Let us start today's session with the help of an Azure DevOps. So before going to start a session, let me introduce myself. Then I'll try to take it forward with an Azure DevOps. So myself, Raghavendra, I have around 13 years of experience in IT. So when last 6 to 7 years, I went into training. I deal like an Azure DevOps, AWS DevOps kind of topics I deal. I've conducted some around 30 to 40 batches on DevOps. Okay. So it could be a different ways of methods I've conducted. That's all. So when come to the Azure DevOps, so we'll try to understand what is an Azure DevOps, what we are going to cover, and how you are going to get benefited with this. We'll try to look at that. So I could see the different participants. I hope you all have on our course content what we are going to cover in our sessions. If you don't have, we'll share the course content with you so we can go through that. If you have any other concerns in that, like if you want me to add anything or remove anything, just let me know. So I'll do that as well. Okay. So just if you can give me a anyone interested, you can give a short description, like you introduce yourself in a very short description, like what you do and what you're expecting from this. So that is good enough. Okay. So just I give and write same way. So what is your name and what you do, and what is your prior experience and what you're expecting from this course. So that is good enough. So that we can quickly complete in a 5 to 10 minutes. So that we can jump in. Whoever interested, they can unmute yourself and they can go ahead.
Hi Raghavendra, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
This
Please
is
go
Vijay.
ahead.
Yeah, this is Vijay. I'm an
Hi,
AWS
Vijay.
solution architect, and also I'm taking care of DevOps using the Jenkins, SonarQube, and I'm using a tool which can be developed using the YAML scripting, and also I'm handling the AWS entire console. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone want
Morning,
to go ahead?
Raghavendra. This is Levin here.
Hi, good
I have about 4.8 years of experience in DevOps and cloud. I'm working for an MNC. So the expectation out of this course was like I only worked on cloud platforms such as AWS, GCP, and Pivotal Cloud Foundry. So I've not worked on Azure. So my expectation is to learn more on Azure and improve my prowess and skills. Thank you.
I'll try to put expectations, all the things in once we're done with. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Anyone want to introduce it?
Yeah, Raghavendra, this is Chandra Rao. So I'm currently working on Azure AD, and priorly I worked with Azure IS part. So now I'm also working with AWS Identity and Access Management, but I'm not into Azure DevOps. So I all know about DevOps, general DevOps, that normally Jenkins, some other Ansible tools which people used to use. But I don't know about DevOps. So I want to understand DevOps and go with Azure DevOps. So this is what my expectation from this session.
Understood. Yeah. Anyone? Okay. Like if you want, you can update your introduction in a chat also. Okay. So or else you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead as well. I'm muting all of you guys as of now. to avoid the background noise something. So let us start. So you all know like DevOps is a buzzword nowadays in a market. Okay. So all the infrastructure related like an infrastructure or development or everything is moving towards an automation kind of an environment. So what is a DevOps basically? So DevOps is something which will help you to resolve the traditional application delivery life cycle, delivery cycle, right? DevOps solves different problems of the traditional application delivery cycle. So previously, whatever the ways you used to release the software, so how better we can release that, right? How you can integrate different teams or work with the different teams and you release the software is nothing but a DevOps. DevOps is mainly in a culture, how you implement the culture, how you adopt the culture, and how you implement it by adopting a different automation tools to achieve the software release, better software release, right? So, so tools and technologies are the are last. So, but the first thing is how you implement it. What is an approach you are following? These are all in a DevOps, right? So we have mainly these things: continuous integration, configuration management, continuous delivery and deployment, monitoring, feedback, then tools and technologies. Right. So in a DevOps, these are all the major phases like continuous integration, configuration management, delivery and deployment, monitoring, feedback mechanism setup, tools and technologies we can pick up at the end. So it could be an Jenkins, it could be an Azure DevOps, it could be an Ansible or any other tools. So technology, tools and technologies as we can select at any given time. So the process how you implement is the major concern. Let us try to look at how it is going to address that. It is DevOps is not only a just technical stuff, right? So it is also like an setting up a mechanism, like setting up a process how you implement this, right? So we'll try to look at what are the things we are going to cover. If you look at now the just simple one diagram, I'll try to convey here. If you look at here, so once development activity is done, right? How it is going to implement a continuous integration, automation testing, the cloud provisioning. A cloud provisioning is something whenever you require to test something, you wanna UAT, whatever the environment you require, right? So we automatically provision the servers in a cloud. It could be VMware, it could be Azure, AWS, whatever. And we do a configuration management. As per the requirement, as per the environment, we make that environment ready infrastructure with the help of configuration management. Then once you prepared your artifacts here, once you prepared your software here, we deploy it, we monitor it, we give a feedback, and this flow will continue, right? Is it clear? So whenever the developer develop the code, from there, once develop the code and done, from there a DevOps engineer role come in a picture. Okay, so here onwards, our DevOps engineer role comes in a picture. It could be on a build and release activities. It could be on a configuration management activities. That is fine. But after developing the code, okay, as a DevOps engineer, our role comes in a picture. So, okay, these are all the different activities we do. As part of that, okay, we are going to learn different tools, right? As I told you, tools and technologies, okay, depends on okay your project, your requirement and all. But okay, this is what we are going to set up. If you look at in a continuous integration, in a continuous world, we have an integration, testing, delivery, deployment, different terminologies we have. So what exactly, these are all the terminologies we'll try to understand one by one. What is meant by delivery, deployment, integration, testing, all those stuff we'll try to look at. So So continuous integration, what is meant by continuous integration? And continuous delivery, deployment as well. So these all the things are works better way if you integrate it with the cloud. Why? Because whenever I required, I can go and start infrastructure in cloud and can, I mean, it could be Azure or AWS, right? So you can provision the infrastructure and you can do your automation testings, automation deployments, and all those things you can do it, right? So these continuous integration delivery deployments well supported by the cloud provisioning and configuration management. So you servers are, you provisioned servers, fine. If it is not configured as per your environment, let us say you want to install an IaaS on it, you want to install Tomcat on it, then you want to deploy it, right? So in order to install all those stuff as per the environment requirement, so you can use a configuration management tool, tools like Ansible, Chef, Puppet, SaltStack, kind of, right? Then monitoring mechanism. The monitoring makes sure that your business runs as expected. If something went wrong, okay, in an end-to-end solution, if something went wrong, it will send a notifications to you so that you can take an appropriate actions on it. So the continuous feedback is also one of the vital concepts. So we'll try to look at one by one. So if you look at in general, the DevOps concepts, if you observe, so in a development environment, you might have used Git, Maven, Jenkins, right? So as part of continuous integration, if it is in a Java-based project, right? So if it is in a .NET base, you might have used a .NET like MS Build or else .NET Core or something. So in order to build the project, a configuration management tool point of view, Chef or Puppet or Ansible you might have used. And it could be on a cloud level. You may deploy it in a cloud like Azure or AWS or Docker containers like, okay, AKS kind of, Azure Kubernetes Service kind of. So wherever you try to deploy it. So this is then a flow. You try to, once developer developed it, you work with a continuous integration, configuration management, and delivery and deployment. This is the flow generally we'll work with. Okay, when come to the Azure DevOps, or what is the advantage with the DevOps? What is the advantage with the DevOps? The advantages are, the main advantage is an agility. What is agility? So in a previous days, developers used to follow flow. Development used to happen in a water flow methodology, right? So when I say water flow methodologies, so once they completed the development, then they'll go for a testing, release, all those stuff, right? But nowadays, let us say you're working for a gaming company. Okay, let us say the game 1 to, in a game, let us say there is a level 1 to level 7 games are there. So you need not to develop all the 7 levels of game and you can release now, right? So what you can do is you can try to pick up one level 1, and in that again, okay, you may have a number of features. Suppose, let us say feature 1, feature 2 you're working on. So immediately you are trying to, once it is developed, you are trying to commit in one of the version control tool like Git, and you are going for a validation, compilation, testing, and package it, and then deploy it and test it, right? So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to, developers following an agile methodology nowadays. What exactly agile methodology? Rather than developing all the levels in a one go, they'll pick up in a small feature, they'll pick up in a one feature and they work on it. And they release it, right? By the time of the people completing level 1, you can release level 2, right? You need not to wait entire all the levels to be complete, then you go and release, right? So that is what I'm trying to do. Nowadays, developers following an agile methodology. Agile methodology is nothing but an incremental development, parallel development. So they don't develop everything in a one go. So they'll pick up a small features and they'll try to go for release. So in order to achieve their agile methodology, we are following a DevOps culture. So with the help of DevOps, we can achieve the agility. So faster delivery of the new features or any issues. Okay, if you have any existing issues, you can release the software in a better way and fast way. So we can give high quality code. Why we are giving? How can we achieve the high quality code? If you look at here, we are trying to find out the bugs in a very early state. If you look at, we are trying to test the code in a feature 1 only. If something went wrong, immediately we'll inform the developers to look at it and work on it, right? So we are trying to find out the bugs in a very early stage so that, okay, we can resolve the issues much better way and it can release better code quality, right? So what we can achieve? We can achieve high level of code quality, right? So automation is one of the important things. So once you prepare this environment, right, you can use it, you can repeat it a number of times. So let us say you written some code in Ansible, you written some code in a, okay, so CI/CD point of view, whatever. So once you prepare that code, right, you can use it for a number of times, and it is already tested code. So you can have an advantage over automation. You can give a high quality. Okay, because of all these things, you can reduce the cost as well, like, right? You are repeatedly using same thing. Okay, so for that you already automated that environment, so that, okay, you can reduce the cost as well. So one of the thing is like a build automation. So in a DevOps, right, you can categorize into two things. One is a build and release, other one is a configuration management. A build and release is something where you are responsible to build that particular package. Okay, you try to build that particular package. So in order to build, we try to do a lot of activities like validations, compilations, packaging. Then we'll try to release that. So, okay, in general, in a market, there's a lot of build tools are there. Okay, so if you look at in a market, there are a lot of build tools like okay, generally the flow, if you look at here, continuous integration, cloud provisioning, configuration management, delivery, and deployment, right? For each and every level, there is a lot of tools in a market. What Azure does, what Azure DevOps does is, so they have given an end-to-end solution for that. If you look at, so what is an Azure DevOps then? Azure DevOps is a software as a service platform from Microsoft that provides end-to-end tool chain for managing entire DevOps. So ideally, what is our main goal? Delivering and deploying the software. They are giving end-to-end solution to deliver your software and deploy the software, right? So you need not to go multiple tools. So as in general in a regular DevOps we do. So for every level, okay, Microsoft have come up with a solution to automate that. Previously in Azure DevOps, they used to call VSTS, Visual Studio Team Services kind of. So they added some more features and they named it as Azure DevOps now. Right? So not only Azure DevOps works with its own tool mechanism end-to-end solution, you can integrate with any other third-party tools as well. It also integrates most of the leading tools in a market, like Jenkins, Chef, Puppet, Ansible, okay, Jira, whatever. Okay, you want to integrate leading market tools like which are available in a market now, you can integrate with as well, right? So basically, what DevOps does, it is a, yeah, go ahead.
Raghavendra, one question. This is John here.
Yes.
If you compare with Azure DevOps, it is supported only for the .NET application or other technologies?
No, it will support all the technologies. It could be, suppose in your application, you are using front end as a Go language. Okay, so back end you are using Java. Some payment gateways you are using .NET. So any kind of an application you can implement with Azure DevOps. There is no such only .NET applications you can use. No.
Thank you.
Raghavendra, one question
Yes,
on top
go ahead.
of that. So normally I heard that DevOps is a combination of tools like Jenkins, Ansible, Chef, some other
Yes,
tools. So whatever you
yes,
whatever you're telling is it's not required to maintain different kinds of tools. So whatever the list you displayed, right, about continuous integration, continuous
yes,
deployment. So those are the
yes.
5 or 6 things that is going to providing by Azure, right? So no other tool is required to start with the Azure DevOps, right?
Yes. But yes, the thing is like you can integrate if you want. If suppose your existing environment is using Jenkins, okay, so you wanna use that Jenkins in DevOps, right? Azure DevOps, yes, you can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
You can integrate it, but Amazon Azure has given all the features to you.
Okay.
So the question is like I could see some chat window. There is some questions. Are you going to take infra DevOps or application DevOps? Okay, so it is DevOps is DevOps. It is not an infra or application. So what we do is, so we try to implement in Azure level. So whatever the infrastructure we required for an implement DevOps, we'll try to provision in Azure, and we'll try to automate those environments. Okay. So the next question from Chandra. Can't you go with on-premises and okay? So yeah, if you see in Azure DevOps, there is a concept called Azure Server as well, DevOps Server as well, that you can implement on your on-premises as well. You can implement. So it does not see there are two things. Okay, Azure in Azure level there are two things. Azure Server. Let me try to put it here. They have come up with a concept called Azure Server, DevOps Server, like I said. Let us say. Okay, so you can implement this on your on-prem as well. Then you can achieve all the DevOps kind of solutions in that. Or else Azure DevOps is something a platform as a service kind of they are giving. So you can go and try to implement in a cloud. So everything they'll manage backend, just you can use it and you can implement it. I'll try to look at that both. Okay. So there is a question from Sushma. Is there any difference between deploy and deployment? So delivery and deployment is a difference. Okay, I'll try to cover. So there is a continuous delivery, continuous deployment. Two terminologies are there. We'll try to come across what is those. Okay. So then Kalyan, there is a question. If you have good resources, we can go ahead with on-prem. Yeah, yes. If you wanna see your DevOps, you can implement anywhere. It could be on-prem, it could be on a cloud. So if your resources are in on-prem, suppose all the infrastructure is there in on-prem, your applications are there in on-prem. So yes, you can implement DevOps in on-prem as well. If your infrastructure now you are provisioning all the new infrastructure in cloud, yes, you can implement in a cloud as well. Wherever you want, you can implement. Okay. So there is no such restrictions. You have to use only okay on on-prem SaaS cloud kind of. That's up to you. Okay. So let us take it forward then. So DevOps, what exactly DevOps now? Is the software development and deployment to enable the continuous delivery to make a value to your end users by achieving a incremental software delivery. So what we are trying to do is we are not waiting. We are not asking a client to wait for long terms in order to release. So what we do is we try to release the softwares in a regular intervals whenever the developer committed, whenever the developer developed the software. So in general, previously what used to happen is developer used to give a code, suppose operations team used to maintain the servers, right? So operation teams are responsible to manage the servers up and running kind of. So when the developers are giving code, so operations teams are not ready to deploy it. Why? Because they have their own mechanism, like they have their own change mechanism, downtime required for that. Okay, they have some their own problem. Right? They don't deploy as you say. Right. So in order to do that, okay, they have come up with solutions like automation, infrastructure as a code, blue-green deployment kind of such kind of so ideally what they are trying to achieve is, okay, they're trying to build in a mechanism called DevOps where all the teams work together to achieve that particular, okay, achieve the particular delivery life cycle smooth. Okay, so they are trying to achieve a better delivery software with the help of implementing DevOps culture in your environment. Okay, so what is a DevOps culture? So basically, rather than releasing all the software in one go, you try to, developers will follow agile methodology. They try to develop a small features, and you are releasing, okay, you are doing a continuous delivery, okay, to bring a value to your users by achieving an incremental software delivery. So how can we achieve this? If you look at an Azure DevOps side, so in Azure DevOps, in order to achieve all these things, they have come up with some in Azure DevOps. They have an Azure boards where you can implement your project flow. So what exactly you want to do? Azure Repos is a repository. Okay, it is in a repository, like where exactly you try to maintain the code. Pipelines, Azure Pipelines is on something where it will try to work as your continuous integration and continuous delivery point of view. Like in general, if you look at a Jenkins kind of, right? What it does, it will try to collect the code from Azure repos and do all the activities of build process. What is the build process? Validation, compilation, testing, packaging, all those stuff, and delivering and deployment also can be done. So entire pipelines we can define your project flow you can define in a Azure pipelines, right? So test plans, so you can define how to test your code and all. And artifacts are nothing but whatever you are released the software, right? So artifact is nothing but results, right? So whatever you prepared in a package and all, you can store in artifacts, and further you can try to use it for a deployment pointer. Clear? So these are all the major flow in Azure DevOps. We have on a board repos. Continuously they are developing their Azure DevOps feature. So here you can try to see some of the major process. So in general DevOps level, we plan, code, build, test, release. We try to deploy, we try to operate, monitor, operate. These are all the different things. Development team and operations team work together to achieve this entire. So let us look at one by one now. So what Azure DevOps do? What can Azure DevOps do? Azure DevOps has a range of services. Okay, there is a lot of tools integrated with Azure DevOps. So it will give you an entire development lifecycle kind of. So end-to-end lifecycle it will try to give us. So when I try to say end-to-end lifecycle, if you look at this entire flow, if you look at first, a customer comes with a requirement, right? So there would be a product owner in your company, okay, for your project. The product owner will collect the requirements, right? And he'll prepare a product backlog. A product backlog in the sense what exactly you want to do the project, okay? Whatever the requirements customer comes up with, right? That we call it as a product backlog. So then where the business analyst or product owner translates the requirements into a backlog or product backlog. Once he prepared in Azure boards, okay, where it is going to work in Azure boards. So if you look at a regular DevOps, okay, you might have required a project management tool here. Okay, so there are different tools to manage the project. Like it could be Jira to projectmanagement.com or Jira, some different project management tools are there. So you can try to pick up that. So they have Azure DevOps come up with a boards where you can prepare a product backlog. So what happens then? Engineering team starts sprints and capacity planning kind of. So there would be a Scrum Master in your team. The Scrum Master will try to pull that particular product backlog and prepare in a sprints. Okay, there would be a Scrum Master. He'll generally pull that particular product backlog and he'll prepare a capacity planning or sprint. Basically, he'll prepare in a sprints. Sprint is basically a short-term goal. What exactly you want to do this particular week or this particular 2 days and all. So that particular based on the planning and all. Okay, so that work would be divided to all the engineers, all the DevOps engineers. It could be a developers, it could be whatever it is. So that task will be divided to them. So developers picks up that particular backlog of items, and then he'll assign that particular task and he started working on it. Here onwards, actual flow will start. So once a developer finishes the code, let us say developer finish the code will be pushed to your repository. So as I told you, there is a repository, right? So you can push that code to repository, Azure repos. Then the CI/CD. Okay, we as a DevOps engineer, our role comes in a picture now. So we try to build the software. Whenever the developer developed the code and committed into an Azure repos, the build trigger, like continuous integration will start, and we'll try to do a lot of activities in it, like validations, compilations, packages and all. And then we'll try to, if it is successful, well and good. If it is failed, we'll try to inform to all the stakeholders in a project. So because of this reason, okay, it is failed and all. So then we'll try to look at a code quality with the help of SonarQube. SonarQube is a tool which helps you to check the code quality. If the code quality code is there, then only we'll move forward for a release. Otherwise, we'll inform our developer saying that okay, these are all the errors. Right? So once it is build is happened, once successfully build happens, so we call it as a continuous delivery. So we'll try to deploy it into different environments like UAT, testing environment. We don't deploy it into production environment directly. So if you are deploying till non-production environment, we call it as a continuous delivery. Okay, if you are trying to deploy directly to production as well, we call it as continuous deployment. Okay, I'll try to come across again and again these terms: continuous integration, continuous delivery, and deployment. I'll give you a clear picture what exactly it is. So as of now, you treat that once successful build happen. So we try to deploy that to test environment, staging environment, and all. That all we call it as a continuous delivery. So you are not deploying continuously to production. If you try to deploy to continuous production as well, that we call it as a continuous deployment. Okay, so this is a flow, like okay. So we try to business starts testing UAT environments. Any defects found, again they'll try to inform to your developers. Okay, upon the user satisfaction, we'll go for a production environment. So these are all the different stages, okay, in Azure DevOps. So we'll try to look at one by one now. So if you look at an Azure ecosystem, right? So we know that these are all some of them, right? So like pipelines, repos, dashboards, test cases, artifacts. Even you can integrate with an Azure services like monitoring, infrastructure, app insight, web apps and all. You can also integrate all the third-party applications like can be widely used in a market now, like Jenkins, Terraform, Chef, Ansible kind of. So you can integrate with the third-party systems as well if you want. So let us say You are not using a continuous integration here. You want to use Jenkins already in your project. Jenkins using, fine, you can use it. You can use it for a deployment point of view. You can use Azure DevOps for a deployment. Okay. So you can use an infrastructure. You want an infrastructure provision. You can use Terraform. Yes, they have an ARM templates. You can use that, or else you can use a Terraform. Right. So with the help of in Azure, they have an Azure automation. You can use that to provision your infrastructure and install something, or else you can use Ansible. So that's all up to you. Like in your ecosystem, how you want to build your own Azure DevOps ecosystem, that is up to you. Okay. So as I told you, so if you look at now, so there is an Azure DevOps side. There we have two things. Azure DevOps server is there. Okay, Azure DevOps is there. So if you want to implement on your environment, okay, if you want to implement on your own data center, then you can go with an Azure DevOps server. Okay. Just a minute. Try to log in to Azure DevOps. Let me show you that. Let me open an incognito. Any questions now by the time I log in?
Raghav, for creating a Azure account, is Microsoft? I mean, a Microsoft account is mandatory, or we can use it with Gmail also.
Yeah, you see, I'm using Gmail,
Yeah,
right? So you can
yeah,
use.
because I thought Microsoft account was mandate.
No, you can
Thank
use
you. Yeah.
Gmail also. See, I'm using Gmail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let me try to log into one of my Azure account. So if you look at here in Azure, oh, okay, let me give some random number. I don't know why it is asking. It should not ask. Okay. So I hope you all aware of Azure by this time. If not, okay, no need to worry. So we'll try to walk you through when we are trying to discuss any particular topic. I'll try to walk you through that and then we'll discuss. So if you try to understand this particular environment, here we have an Azure DevOps. If you look at here, let me try to directly go with an DevOps. So when you try to look at DevOps, right? So we have an DevOps starter, DevOps organizations. So if you look at so you can create your own environment, like basically. So you can create an organization that is an Azure DevOps kind of. So if you look at an Azure DevOps starter, so you can create your own server and you can try to maintain that in your own data center, or that's up to you. Like okay, basically. So you need to get a license of that particular one kind of. So DevOps server is an also have an option to go with, but the problem with an Azure DevOps server is you have to create your own. Okay, if you look at here, this is an one you can go and try to create a DevOps organization. So once you created a DevOps organization, you can try to manage your. Okay, let me try to walk you through that. So this is for this particular account, I'm trying to create an Azure DevOps organization. So in the organization, you can create n number of projects. Okay. So if you look at now, it is on my DevOps organization. So you can create a new organization. The first step in Azure DevOps, what we do is we try to create an organization. Okay, so once you're all done with, so what is an organization name you want to set up? You can set up that. In which region you want to create, you can create. Let us say South India. Fine. Okay, so done. The creating an organization is a first step towards Azure DevOps kind of. So once you are done with, you can create your own projects and you can go for. So that it is asking now to create a project. So what is a project you want to create? Let us say I'm trying to create a project like CI/CD. Okay, so like you want to create a public or private projects. Okay, let us say it is in a public one. Anyone can access the project kind of. Okay, so create a project. So it is going to create one template kind of for us. So the template has a lot of details to work with. So if you look at now, so we have a summary, overview, dashboards. Here is a boards, repos, pipelines, test plans, and artifacts. So using this, you can try to implement the entire flow. If you look at a pipelines, so we have a build pipelines, release pipelines. Okay, different variables you can use. Lot of activities are there. You can implement CI/CD over here. Okay. So you can create your own pipelines here. So the pipelines level, you can integrate a lot of things. If you look at when I try to create a pipeline, right? So I'm directly going to the pipeline section. So you can integrate with okay, so any of the repository, you can use Git or any other thing. Okay. So let us say I'm trying to use Git. Fine. So if you look at now, they have a lot of tools, as I told you, you can integrate with. So .NET, Android, ASP.NET. Like look at here. So there, those many. So if you want to integrate with the Jenkins, choose the Jenkins job and download its artifact. Right? You can try to integrate many things. You want to integrate with the Go language. Okay. So you want to integrate with the Gradle, Maven. You can integrate many things with. So apart from these things, we have on Microsoft Marketplace as well. From there also, let us say you want to integrate with SonarQube or any other third-party applications. Connect with a Microsoft Marketplace. From there also. So we have an agents to run all this stuff. So the agent also Microsoft managed or your own managed, that's up to you. Okay. So there are different ways to implement this pipelines. Okay, you can set up an environment variables here. Okay, you can set up on a variables. You can use that in your environments. Release, you can try to deployment point of what is the release? A deployment. The release can be done into your web apps or else infrastructure you create and deploy it. So we try to see how to integrate with a Terraform, how to integrate with okay, different stuff we'll try to look at. So if you look at if you go through the course content, so what are the things we are going to cover? I hope if you have it well and good. Okay, if not, you can try to go through the course content and try to work with. Just let us go through the course content of Azure DevOps and then we'll try to come back. So we'll try to understand what is an repos, pipelines, artifacts, test plans on Azure boards, right? Then we'll try to look at a Git. Okay, we'll try to understand Git. As part of understanding Git, you can also look at a source code mechanism, branching strategy. Okay, various branching strategies. Git, basically we try to understand source code mechanism like Git. Okay, so as part of learning Git, we'll try to look at an Azure DevOps level repos as well, Azure repos, how it is going to work. Then we'll try to look at a continuous integration with the Azure pipelines, how it is going to work. So we'll try to look at a code quality, SonarQube integration, right? How make sure that how to set up a best practices of the continuous integration. We'll try to look at. So I mean to say, so whenever there is a developer committed, so how the continuous integration takes place. It could be different applications, like we'll try to see .NET based application, Java based application. Both the things we'll try to look at. How to implement an code quality also we'll try to look at over here. When come to the delivery and deployment, so we'll try to look at in a web apps as well as on a physical, virtual servers. So how it is going to deploy in the web apps as well as the physical virtual servers as well. We'll try to look at. Right, so we'll try to see how to deploy, how to roll back, what are the best practices, blue green, and so as I told you, right? So nowadays developers keep on developing. They are giving a new code in a regular intervals, right? How you achieve that then? So that is a blue green deployment. With the help of blue green deployment, we can achieve the high availability of your application. That we'll try to see. How can you achieve a blue green deployment? High availability deployment kind of. Okay, canary deployments are blue green. Widely used is a blue green deployment. So we'll try to see how the test plans can be implemented in the CI environment, automated test implementations. We'll try to look at that. Artifact management is nothing but you're trying to store your results. Look, whatever you built the software, how you are maintaining that software, how many days you want to maintain that. Okay, those are all the things we'll try to look at over here. Okay, that's the artifact management. Apart from all those things, we'll try to look at an infrastructure as a code, right? So if you know already the Azure, so we'll try to look at ARM templates. ARM templates will help you to implement your infrastructure as a code. So if you, okay, we'll try it. If you want, I'll give you a Terraform as well. So how you, okay, nowadays people are also like picking up Terraform as their infrastructure as a code. So we can see both ARM templates as well as the Terraform as a code. So with that, we can provision the virtual machine, storage, network, all the infrastructure, whatever you required to manage your DevOps. We'll try to learn with an infrastructure as a code in our environment. Okay. So, and then we'll try to look at a release management and feedback mechanism and all fine. So we'll also try to understand here, that is AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. So in order to learn that, first we need to learn Docker. So once we are good at Docker, we'll try to pick up an AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. Okay, the Kubernetes is now widely used in our market nowadays. So we'll try to understand AKS. So whatever we cover, that is from there you can pick it up. Okay, whatever I given inputs and what are the documents I given for an AKS. So whatever we discussed here, if you try to practice that, from there you can easily pick up rest of the things. Okay. So we'll try to understand PowerShell as well. Okay. So we try to look at how the PowerShell will be helpful in Azure DevOps, like how you try to deploy using an PowerShell. So those things we'll try to understand here. This is an overall core structure, guys. So we'll try to see that at the end-to-end deployment of web application and API project kind of. So that is fine. So this is an end-to-end our course content for an Azure DevOps point of view. So I'll give you all the documentation for that. So whatever we do, the GitHub location level code. So you can go through that particular code and you can implement in your environment. And related documentation also I'll share. Okay. Any questions now? I'll take.
Sorry. Hi, this is Sunil. So, do you support the certification also? Like, what is certification code and all? Or any questions?
Yeah, if you want, I'll give you the dumps. That is fine. So yeah, the question is looking Logesh, like a database part. Yes, I missed the database part. we'll try to integrate with a database, okay, MySQL, MS SQL as well with this. Then how to integrate that, okay, with Azure DevOps also, I'll try to discuss database part. Yes.
Okay. And did you share the videos as well as?
Sorry, come again.
Did you share the video? For example, we have in some other activities, some an office activity, so we missed so many sessions on particular day. Could you please just share the
That
day
will be shared.
videos also as well as?
Yeah, that will be shared. All the
Thank you.
documents, all the required materials and all, it will share to you. Okay, everyday video and all, so you can go through that. Okay. So yeah, the database also I'll cover. So how to database, how to create a database, CI/CD with a database also I'll try to cover. I'll try to add that content also in the course content and I'll share that. Okay. So Pooja, I'm from not completely non-IT background. Will face any difficulties? Yeah, basically you need an some Azure. Okay, if you don't know some Azure basics, that is good enough. If not, okay, we'll cover here anyway. So those basics, how to automate with an ARM templates. If you follow that, that is also. Cost, you can try to update your name and my mail ID and phone number here. So, okay, Malini will contact you. Okay, Mamta will contact you and
Ravindra, I
update
have
your
one question.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
So here, Pawan Galam. So are we covering any policies which we are going to restrict on repos? So means somebody is checking. So those policies.
I mean to say, you mean to say like in Azure DevOps level in the repos who are allowed to push, who are allowed to merge
Yes,
those
yes,
stuff.
that, yeah, policies restricting.
Yeah, we'll see that. Okay. Yes, in Azure DevOps level we have an project settings. There you have an yes, we'll do that. We'll try to give a certain privileges to certain users. Only those can build it, those can compile it. The such kind of things we try to do that.
And one more thing, in Azure boards, are we covering any? It's like out third-party widgets for into configuring into our boards.
Come again. I missed it.
Any widgets or third-party configuration? How we are going to configure?
Yes, there is in a boards we try to integrate some other plugin.
Okay. Thanks, Rav. Thanks.
Hi Ravindra, this is Krishna. I just want to know, as you said that Git will be used for source management, right? What are the other build tools or the configuration management tools we are using? Or generally it is concentrating totally on Azure DevOps or the overview of DevOps tools?
MS Build, other one is in a Maven. So as I told you, we cover two projects, two languages point of view. One is on a Java and .NET. In order to implement that, we need to learn Maven. And one day I'll try to discuss Maven. Other day we'll try to discuss MS Build. So with the help of these two, we'll try to look at two projects like Java and Maven. I mean, with the help of Java and Maven, okay, MS Build for .NET. Okay. Two build tools we'll try to learn. Is that clear? Any questions? Yeah, you can, if you have any questions, you can raise. I asked them to add this point also, like okay, database.
Hi Ravindra, what are the configuration management tools which you are using, like Chef, Puppet, Ansible, or something like that, right? SaltStack.
As part of this course content, we are not discussing configuration management tool. But okay, we are trying to discuss on ARM templates in Azure point of view. Okay. So we are trying to discuss on ARM templates as well as the Terraform. So those two tools helps you to set up entire environment. Okay. So that is what. So we are trying to discuss a lot of things like in a Kibana log analytics point of view. So that will help. Yeah, if you required an Ansible, yes, I can discuss Ansible. So just you try to update the team. Okay. So when they call you, right? So ask them for an Ansible. Definitely I can add Ansible. So I work from last 3 years on Ansible. So okay, I'll try to cover Ansible on it. So we'll try to change the course content. So with the help of Ansible, with adding Ansible, and we can discuss. Okay. But as part of Azure DevOps, you may not be required that much Ansible. So you need to have ARM templates or Terraform kind of tools in order to set up the DevOps environment. Okay.
Hi, Ravinder.
Right.
For learning this, we need any extra tool or license, or we can do with free license.
No, nothing required. Okay. If you know that, if you have an Azure account, that is good enough to manage everything. Yes, we'll do one .NET and Java project, right? We'll do a lot of things. Okay. So not only this, as part of our project discussion, I'll try to show you a lot of other application deployments as well. So like in a Golang, okay, some .NET related, Java related also I'll try to discuss with you. Okay. Any other questions?
Raghavendra, this
If not,
class is the weekends or weekdays only? How it is?
ideally it is a weekend. Okay.
Very good.
So we can have an every weekend.
And the
Or if
weekends
you require on a
timelines, anything?
weekdays, yeah, they'll update you. Okay.
Okay.
So our team will call you in some time. So all
Okay.
of you try to update your okay, mail ID and number. So, so they'll contact you related to, regarding timing and schedule details and all, they'll update you. So
Thank you.
that's it from my end, guys. If you have any questions, you can raise, or else we'll meet in our regular sessions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. For more details, like okay, I've shared you. If you look at my okay, here shared the number as well. So you can contact this number for any further details. Okay, they'll get in touch with you. Okay, I've given you the contact details in chat window. Just go and look at. Okay, thanks for joining. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much, Raghavendra.
Thanks, Raghavendra.
Thank you. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Thanks, Raghav.
ಒಂದು 9 ರಿಂದ 10 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೂ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಕಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.